Hi, so today I'm going to show you a short tutorial on how to make this balloon flower. It's a no glue balloon flower, so you don't need any glue dots or anything like that. It's 8 petals, and yeah, I've done a little bit of a different twist in the middle there. We're going to show you everything with this next design. So what we need is about 9 5-inch balloons, 8 of one color and 1 of another color. I have used pastel matte yellow for my 8 balloons, and for the middle bit I've used a honey yellow. And also I need a 12-inch balloon, a piece of scrap 260, and I've got a reflex gold 260 here as well for the middle bit. And how we start, we're going to inflate the petals first. What I do is put my pump in 2 sharp pumps, and I'm going to hold this in my hand like that so I can inflate the second 5-inch balloon. Then I'm going to take the 2 5-inch balloons and I'm going to tie them together from the end of the nozzles, all right? Not like we usually do nice and tight. We're going to make them really, really loose. I don't know if you can see camera angles. I'm going to tie them really, really loose at the tips of the balloon. So I've got all that neck to play with. You kind of want to make sure that you can squeeze the balloon to make kind of an egg shape of the balloon. Can you see there? All right. So that's how we're going to make these duplets. I'm going to continue and I'm going to do 4 sets of these. So the trick is, and it does get a little tricky, to take the nozzles at the ends and not lose any air in between, because we want to keep the air in the 5-inch balloons. So we're going to take them and we're going to make sure that those tied just at the tips over there in the ends. So I do squeeze them down a little bit just to create like more of an egg shape. I'm going to carry on. Hope you're keeping up with me. It does take a little bit of practice to tie the 2 balloons at the end. You can do them one, I'll show you how to do one without doing them together. Okay, you can do, if you're finding it tricky, you can just tie it at the end like that. And tie the next one at the end separately if you're battling to do the duplets together. You can do it like that, and then tie your 2 balloons together at the end. So that's the 2 single ones tied together. Okay, so we're going to put that aside and we're going to do the middle bit. I inflate this bit of the base of the flower to around about 7 inches. So I kind of eyeball it, but if you do have a sizer, it's about 6 or 7 inches. Not too big because you don't want them bigger than your flower. Okay, and then again, I'm going to tie it at the end. I'm not tying it at the base of the balloon. I'm tying it at the end of the nozzle, okay, so that it's got some maneuverability. All right, and then I'm going to do the same with my other 5-inch. Now, I did do 2 pumps in here, but I am going to make it a little bit smaller. I just downsize it a bit, okay? So it's bigger than 1 pump, but I don't want it the same width as my 5-inch balloon. So it's just down a little bit. And again, I'm going to tie it at the end, or you can tie it directly to your 12-inch balloon. So I'm showing you how to do it separately so you can see the technique and the method. So as you can see, those balloons the necks are really long like that. Then what we're going to do is a tulip twist. So we're going to take the nozzles and we're going to push it all the way down inside to the base of the 12-inch balloon. So I'm taking my thumb, I'm putting them on the nozzle and I'm pushing it really hard, and I'm pushing this side down as well, and I'm going to catch that nozzle on the other side. Okay, so there I've caught it on the other side. I'll show you again. So I'm pushing it down all the way inside, pushing this down. You can see where the nipple of the balloon is, and I'm pushing it down and I'm catching the nozzle on the other side. Now you have to hold it really, really tight, and some of you need to practice with your hands to make sure that you can hold it really tight. And then I pull it I push the balloon down and I pull it and twist it. Okay, so that creates your little attachment point there. And in order to keep it in place, I take a 260, I'm going to wrap it around my pinky, and then I'm going to twist it around that knot a few times. And then I'm going to tie it in place. So now we have an attachment point for our flower as well. As you can see on this one, I've done it. And now we have attachment point there. And it looks a little bit like, well, this one looks a little bit like a duck. So always try and think about what else it could be. Okay, that's a tip from Denise, by the way. Then I'm going to take my duplets. I'm going to just kind of squish them down a bit. And then all I do is I wrap them through the middle bit. Okay, and you just keep going. You wrap around the middle bit. You work your way around. And then the last one, and it all fits nice and snug in your base, as you can see. Now, in order for them not to flip up like this and get out of shape, we're going to create just a little placement in the middle there. And what I usually do is put some beads in the middle, some pearl beads. This one is a double pearl bead, so you can either just do a single row of pearls around the middle and it kind of keeps everything in place, or you can do it, I'm going to show how you do a double roll of pearl. Okay, so there's your flower. Go. So I inflate the 260 about that much, so kind of halfway if I'm going to create a pearl beads. I'm going to tie it quite nice and tight. Now, a lot of people start squishing on their balloons before they do the 260s, the pearl beads. I don't. I think that you get a lot better traction and your pearl beads stay in place a lot better if you don't squeeze it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist towards me. I'm going to create a bubble and twist towards me like that. For those of you who've never created pearl beads, it's a little tricky. It does take a lot of practice. Then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to place that first bead between my ring finger and my pinky finger like that. And it kind of keeps it in place. And then I can continue to do my pearls. The reason why I do this is because I can create, if I make my pearl bead too big like that one, I can always undo it a bit and I have control of all my pearls. And just keep twisting it towards myself. You do twist it quite a few times. A lot of people start doing pearl beads, they stop twisting it so many times, and that's when they start to unravel. Okay, so you can feel how big the pearls are. You keep going all the way around, and I'm going to do this one right to the end because that's how I'm going to create my double pearls. So I'm going to keep going right to the end. These are great for, currently people are putting them around the number stacks. Pearl beads are great for pretty much anything, any extra design. They look so luxurious. So if you can master this technique, the only thing I can just say is practice, 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 and try and make your pearls the same size all the way through, okay? Some people do their pearls a bit too big. They need to be the width of your 260. That's how big your pearls need to be, okay? So if you're in doubt about how big your actual pearl needs to be, your bead, your bubble, that's how you check. Okay, so I'm going to keep going to the end. And then once I get to the end, I'm going to lock it in place by just doing one twist like that. Because if I let go of either side, the whole string of pearls will unravel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the middle of this chain. There's 2 beads there, and I'm going to work my way down for the 4 beads, and I'm going to do 2 twists. Okay, And then I'm going to work 1, 2 down again, and I'm going to do a twist like that. 2 down again, twist, 2 down, twist, 2 down, okay, and twist. I have an ending of both where I started and when I finished. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off both ends and I'm going to tie them together. And these are going to create my attachment points. So I'm going to take the 2 bits that I've cut off there and I'm just going to double tie it together, and these will be my attachment points. And as you can see, I've got my beads, and I'm going to just take it and push it right down on there and tie it to the other side. So I just cut the extra excess off there, and I'm just going to position because this is quite nice and tight, everything kind of just stays in place. So I'm just going to check that that's okay. And there you have it. And I have an attachment point for where I'm going to attach my pretty little flower on like that. So I hope you like my tutorial. Let us know if you have any questions on this.